The interesting thing, of course, with AI is you know which jobs are going to be impacted, but you don't know which new jobs will emerge. A big shortage is in what we call the skilled trades. So skilled trades have grown in demand 4 times faster over the last 4 years than professional roles. So I would say skilled trade, but it's also true for healthcare, is better protected from AI and robotics than, let's say, administrative work in an office.
And how is geopolitics now affecting the job market?
Uncertainty is sort of the new normal, and uncertainty just doesn't help giving our clients the confidence to invest, whether that's in infrastructure, whether that's in technology, whether that's in people, which is hiring.
The idea that human labor will turn superfluous in the digital age has become a societal anxiety. But the reality is more nuanced. Certainly, technology, as well as demographics and geopolitics, are upending the labor market. However, human labor remains in high demand. In fact, some companies are still struggling to hire across certain sectors and functions, with talent availability becoming a major factor in site selection and foreign investment decisions. Today, I'm here with a guest that can shed light on some of these dynamics. Sander van Noordende, the CEO of Randstad, the world's largest staffing firm by revenues based in Amsterdam and listed on the Euronext. Sander, thank you for being with us today. The job market, particularly here in Europe and other advanced economies, is sending out mixed signals. There is a wide perception that candidates are struggling to find work, which fuels that somewhat AI is going to take all our jobs idea. But at the same time, companies across the board really keep telling me that they are struggling to fill vacancies. So, what is happening and how would you characterize the jobs market at the moment?
Yeah, I would say the job market has been stuck now for a while. And I think, Jacopo, it is still the aftermath of COVID. I think in COVID, many companies have hired too many people, and therefore hiring has been very low over the last years and actually has come down now at the level of 2013. So hiring has been anemic. So it is difficult, especially for graduates, to find a job. So it is not yet affected by AI, I would say, at scale. I think that will come at a certain scale, not at the scale that many people think it will in the next 5 years.
If we look at statistics in the labor market, unemployment rates in Europe, in North America, other advanced economies have been relatively low over the past few years. How do you reconcile this idea that unemployment rates in the job market seem to be very low with the idea of what you are perceiving in the market, that the market is still a bit stuck, as you said?
Yeah, so I would say everybody is where they are and they stay where they are. Companies are not hiring, so people stay where they are. The economy is not dynamic enough at this point in time in most parts of the economy to stimulate companies to hire. I think that is back to the overall geopolitics that we've seen over the last couple of years, in addition to the post-COVID, because we had, of course, all the discussion around the tariffs. Now there is the conflict in the Middle East. Before that, we had the Ukraine one. So uncertainty is sort of the new normal. And uncertainty just doesn't help giving our clients the confidence to invest, whether that's in infrastructure, whether that's in technology, whether that's in people, which is hiring. So I think most companies are taking it one step at a time, and they are thinking it's not so clear where the world's headed, where the economy is headed, where my demand is headed. So let's just take it one step at a time and maybe replace the people that leave us, but stop there.
But do you also get companies telling you they are struggling to find the right talent? I'm particularly referring to a number of manufacturers from Europe and the Americas over the past few months. They told me that it's a problem for them in this moment in time to find the right talent for their staff.
Yes, where there is a big shortage is in what we call the skilled trades. So your HVAC technicians, your electricians, your plumber, your welder, all those skilled trades are in high demand, in part driven by the data center boom, if you will, and all the sectors that are before the data center. That is where the shortages are, aggravated in part by the higher average age of skilled trade workers, so a higher retirement rate, and also I would say not the popularity that you would like to have under the younger folks.
So, what would you say are the main reasons for this demand supply mismatch in this skilled trades sector of the labor market that you are referring to?
Well, it's a surge in demand. So skilled trades have grown in demand four times faster over the last 4 years than professional roles. So that's one. That is expected to continue at the rate of 2x. Overall, the US job market, for instance, will have an average increase of 2-3% in jobs over the next 5 to 10 years. For skilled trade, that's foreseen to be 6%. So there's a surge in demand. That's one. Then there is a shortage in supply because we just have not educated and trained sufficient skilled trade people. And that has to do with the perceived, I would say, unattractiveness of the skilled trade career track. That's sort of been the mainstream thinking. Okay, go to college, do something that you will ultimately do in an office, whether that's marketing, whether it's finance. I think that's been sort of the normal type of career path that people were looking for. The number of people going to college has increased tremendously over the last 10, 15 years. So I think that's another part of the root cause. And that's a pity because the skilled trade, well, first of all, you can make good money. It is, let's say, the distinction between skilled trade and professional roles has become smaller and smaller because in every skilled trade, you need technology skills, so digital skills as well. Because all machines, your electric system, of course, in the data center, but also your HVAC, everything is connected. So digital skills, technology skills are increasingly important. So skilled trade is becoming more of a blend between professional and the classic skilled trade, which makes it more exciting. But you need more skills and training as well.
A couple of months ago, a contact of mine characterized this shift in this sentence. Manual labor is the new white collar. Would you agree that manual labor has become the new white collar?
Well, I don't think that suggests something. I think if the question is there an attractive career path in the skilled trades, and can you make a good living? The median salary, I was just looking that up this morning, in the US for skilled trades is now $60,000. So that's a good salary, and that you hear, I would say, war stories of electricians working in data centers, sometimes in somewhat remote places, making six-figure salaries, which is very attractive. Of course, what comes with that is that, college comes with debt generally. People need to invest in their college degree, depending on what college they go to, between 10 and 40K for a period of 3 or 4 years. So that's a significant amount. That's less in the skilled trade. So it starts to become a very attractive career path with lower debt and a very significant compensation.
Do you believe that these jobs will still be there in a couple of years? Part of the reasoning of people telling me they are struggling to find a skilled trade, to fill skilled trades roles, is also the fact that, okay, we can't find these particular workers, so we will invest more in automation. So do you think that 3, 4 years, 5 years, 10 years down the line, those roles will still be there?
Well, one of the beautiful things, skilled trade is generally about infrastructure. Whether it's infrastructure factories, whether it is public infrastructure, bridges, railroads, etc., whether it's homes. A lot of work requires the physical presence and the physical capabilities of workers. So as long as the world is investing in infrastructure, I think skilled trade people will be very well positioned. It's a different story than I would say in administrative roles or call centers where you can see the AI sort of emerging in a fairly significant way. So I would say skilled trade, but it's also true for healthcare. It's better protected from AI and robotics than let's say administrative work in an office.
And where do you stand in the whole conversation around artificial intelligence, generative AI, replacing roles and function in the wider services industry? Do you believe that AI will disrupt and wipe out, in a way, the labor market, or there is still place for a coexistence between human labor and AI and automation technologies?
No, so I am an AI optimist. The interesting thing, of course, with AI is you know which jobs are going to be impacted, but you don't know which new jobs will emerge. Um, so we call this period that we're now starting. We call it the Great Adaptation. The Great Adaptation of the labor market, and it's about team and task augmentation. So everyone who has a job, and I was doing it myself this morning, needs to see how can I use generative AI to augment and help me doing what I do every week, every month, every quarter. And every team leader will have to do the same in my team. What work can be done over time with the help of AI, and how can we make progress in that? Now that will all take time, but a world wherein augmentation plays a very important role, I think that's the world we're moving into.
Okay, and how is this all affecting Randstad itself as a company? You're active in 39 markets around the world with about like 38,000 employees. So how is this all? How is this new brave world and the great adaptation, as you mentioned, affecting your international strategy?
Yeah, so for us, it affects us at two levels. First of all, our employees working, the people working at our clients, what will their roles be, and which roles are going to be under pressure, and what roles are going to be growing. We have calculated that about 7% of the roles that our employees working play will be under pressure. But we also see areas in the economy where, and we call them our growth segments, that where if we pivot there will be new jobs and more demand. Skilled trade, we just talked about, which is a major focus area for us. So we need to make sure that we, as I always say, are skating where the puck is going to be, that we are there where the growth in demand will be.
And from a geographical standpoint, do you see any particular market that will generate growth?
Well, we think all our regions can grow. Today, we see growth in the US, we see growth in Southern Europe, we see growth in Japan. Our main challenge today as a company is the core of Europe, which is primarily on the back of the challenges in industrial Germany and to a certain extent in France.
Okay, and Sander, if we look at some of the most recent developments, and if we look at the Gulf, particularly a country like the UAE, that has placed itself as, mostly from a labor perspective, talent play with high value added services industries being developed there. How is the Iran war and the whole geopolitical upheaval in the region changing that calculus?
Yeah. So, well, first of all, we have no business in the Middle East, so we're not experts. But I think what the message here is, or what's coming at you, is that safety was taken for granted, safety and security, and that is now sort of at risk, I would say. I think it's too early to draw definitive conclusions, because it will all depend on how long this conflict will last. If it sort of phases out over the next few weeks, I think the damage will be manageable. If this is a prolonged conflict, then obviously the challenges will be substantial for the whole Middle East, and specifically for those countries that have attracted a lot of people who might then start to think, is this still the right place for me to be?
With this, in this great adaptation, is this going to be a zero-sum game, or will there be winners and losers in the job market?
Let's say it's all about skills. If you make sure you have the right skills, and if we as societies help people to build the right skills, whether it's a skilled trade, whether it's digital skills or the combination thereof, whether it's AI skills, I think the world at large needs to do a better job this time around than last time around, where we sometimes left people to their devices. And I think the reskilling at scale in all labor markets will be critical.
Sander van Noordende, CEO of Randstad, thank you very much for being with us today.
Thank you very much, Jacopo, for having me.
Thank you everyone for watching. If you're following this on YouTube, please like and subscribe, or else follow all our coverage on our website, fdiintelligence.com. Until the next time.